Hello everyone, I hope you're well. I'm here today to do a slightly talkative video about conventions. I plan to do a few videos that are cosplay and convention related, whether it's kind of more what you can do to prepare for the convention or makeup tips, cosplay tips and all of that kind of stuff. Today I have some generic convention tips for cosplayers, people who don't cosplay, and those who are going to their first ever convention. I've been going to conventions now for probably, I think, almost 8 years, so I have a decent amount of experience, and most of this though will be coming from a cosplayer's point of view, but I've also talked to some friends and they've given me some other ideas for those who aren't cosplaying. Let's dive right into it. First things I think are pretty obvious, but I'm going to state them anyway just because, and the first one is to stay hydrated throughout the convention and also to pack snacks. And I know as a cosplayer, you don't really want to carry around a heavy bag, but it's better to have some water, and if you don't bring water, at least buy a drink or a sweet tea or something at the convention. As for snacks, if you're going to be at a convention for the entire day, I'd really recommend trying to get a proper lunch in there. It'll just give you more energy and honestly make you feel 100 times better. Snack wise, I like to bring, whether it's a chocolate bar or a packet of chips or something a little bit healthier, but I like to pack that into my bag as well, just in case I need some food instantly or some sugar, or if one of your friends need it as well. And then that will lead us to taking a bag. As I mentioned, sometimes cosplaying and taking a bag can be a little bit annoying, but I really like to use tote bags most of the time. So I've just got this one here. It's not too big, not too small, but it's comfortable for me to carry. It's strong, it's not going to break. You can also take a backpack if your costume allows for it. That's a really stable way. Another tip is that if you tend to buy a lot of fan art, bringing an A4 folder to put all of your art in is really useful as well. It's also good for signatures if you want to get something signed and you don't want it to get all crumpled in your bag. What we like to do sometimes is we'll get a designated friend to bring a folder and then we'll just hand all the art to them and then they'll give it back at the end of the convention. As a cosplayer, the hope is that your costume will stay together all day, but that doesn't always happen. A lot of conventions these days have a cosplay help area, but I always like to bring what I like to call a mini cosplay help kit. So in here, it's a tiny little bag and I just add in a bunch of things that I think I need. So that includes Velcro, a bit of elastic, little bit of thread, some needles, some pins, tiny little scissors, band-aids, little cotton earbuds in case I need to fix up my makeup, and I will always take eyelash glue because eyelash glue can literally stick anything to anything, especially if you have gems or something that needs to get stuck to your body. Always take eyelash glue. I don't always need the kit, but I have had situations where I've needed to actually help a friend out quickly. So keep that in mind. If you can make a small one, it's honestly really useful. This one is a little bit obvious, but please make sure that you have your passes and your tickets for the convention. I always double check. I always like to make sure I have everything ready, so I will double check a lot, but just be aware of your friends as well. Every time we're getting ready, it's you got your pass? Yep, got your pass, and so on. If you have a costume that is really intense or there's lots of layers and you think that there's a possibility you'd maybe like to change later during the day, definitely bring a spare pair of clothing. Whether that's just a shorts and a t-shirt, just bring something that for some reason you need to change, you've got something to change into. Obviously if you're wearing a school uniform, it's not quite as necessary, but if you have some kind of crazy costume, or for instance if it's really hot and you think, I'm done with this, you can always change later on. Make sure you obviously have your wallet, and I would recommend taking cash if possible because not all vendors use card. And it also will help you kind of limit what you spend because I know it's quite easy to get caught up in the convention atmosphere. Now, for actually at the convention, I think the most important thing, which I feel like everyone knows, but I'm gonna enforce it anyway, is always make sure you feel safe. And whether that means always being with a group of friends, always making sure you know the area quite well if anything happens, and always keep an eye out for convention helpers if you need to talk to them for some reason. Remember, it's okay to say no to photos, it's okay to take it easy at the convention, it's okay to buy lots of stuff, to not buy a lot of stuff. It's completely up to you. And as long as you're being respectful to everyone else and yourself, you can pretty much do what you want. It's about a bunch of people, a bunch of nerds, getting together, dressing up as their favourite characters or not, and just enjoying the generic convention atmosphere. If for some reason you are uncomfortable or feeling unsafe, definitely go look for the convention helpers that will be in a bright coloured shirt, and they're everywhere and they're easy to find, so don't be afraid to approach them if need be. If it is your first time attending a convention, and say for instance it's a weekend convention, I would very much recommend only going one day, just because you don't want to spend all this money on a weekend pass and be too tired to go the next day. Conventions are weirdly exhausting. Even me, who's been going to them for such a long time now, I get completely exhausted by the end of the weekend. Going one day means you can use all your energy, completely enjoy the con, and then go home and rest. And then you can decide the next convention if you think you're ready to go for both days. One thing I've realised over the years about going to conventions is that you really need to find time to chill during the day. For instance, my group of friends and I, we love to walk around, look at all the vendors, look at the art, meet some guests, go to some panels, but we do spend a decent amount of time sitting down, eating lunch, maybe just taking some really chill photos outside where there isn't as many people, because I think it's important to realise that yes, it's a convention, so much hype, yay, but you need to be able to step back and take a break and sit down and regain your energy so you can enjoy the convention a little bit more. If you are cosplaying for the convention weekend, and I know that this doesn't always happen because of con crunch, but if you have a chance, I'd recommend trying on all of your costume before the convention, maybe doing a makeup test if you feel you need it, just so you can get a feel for the costume. The main reason I like to do it is I put everything on, put the wig on, and I go, okay, what do I think I can improve about this costume? Or how can I make this costume a little bit more comfortable? It's those little things that can make a difference and actually make you feel more comfortable during the weekend and keep the costume from falling to pieces. If you want to get photographed at a convention, it's always good to practice poses. Whether you do this while you're trying on your costume, or even if you have just a single minute after you've put your costume on and just before you go to the convention, just have a look in the mirror, think, okay, I want to do this action pose, or I want to make sure my head is slightly angled to give a certain look. Definitely take a lot of selfies as well. It'll help you figure out exactly how you want to look in photos and be a little bit more confident in yourself. I feel like this tip might only apply to certain people, but personally, I like to have my convention weekends a little bit organised. So if there are panels that I want to go to or signings that I want to see, I make sure that I know when those times are, and I usually just record them on your phone. A lot of conventions will give little help books that you can also look at. It's up to you. I also like to just talk with my friends and be like, I want to go to this panel then, and they might join me, or we might agree to meet up a little bit later. It just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable, and I can enjoy the convention a little bit more if I know kind of my timetable and I've made sure what I want to do isn't clashing with other things. It doesn't mean you have to, organise the convention perfectly, but just having that basic structure can sometimes make people feel a little bit more ready to go to the convention. Cosplay wise, getting ready, giving yourself a large amount of time to get ready is really useful, because say you're putting on the costume and something quickly falls off, you want to have time to, sew or hot glue it back on. And last but not least is to enjoy the convention. And that means enjoying it however you enjoy it. Like I said before, if you want to go there purely for cosplay and pictures, do that. If you're going purely to see guests, do that. If you're there to buy a shit ton of fan art like I tend to do, then, do it and enjoy it. If you are cosplaying, just be confident in yourself. I am sure you look damn amazing. And even if maybe that stitch isn't perfect, or I don't exactly suit that body type of that character, honestly, the majority of people don't care. they're gonna be like, holy shit, you're a character I love, can I have a picture? Or you're gonna get some amazing compliments. And I think cosplay isn't a beauty contest, it isn't about having the best made costume. You know, it's about enjoying yourself and joining fellow nerds to be literal cartoon characters. I think that people need to understand that it's something we do together because we love it, because we enjoy being creative, and we should just embrace everyone. And there's no point in spreading negativity because it's such a strange hobby and we get enough, you know, we get judged enough from the outside, so there shouldn't be any judging from the inside. And honestly, just don't push yourself too far. If something goes wrong, it's not the end of the world, it's just a convention, and there's gonna be many more conventions. A costume doesn't work, oh well, you know for next time. Something didn't turn out how you wanted it to, you know, you can fix it next time. There's always gonna be a next time, and this hobby is about improving ourselves, and it's very rare that the first time you do something, it's gonna turn out perfect. So just enjoy the journey, enjoy being with friends and meeting new people. Definitely spread the positivity. If you see someone and you think, damn, that is some nice makeup, go up and tell them. If there's a character you like, go up and be like, damn, I love your character and you look amazing. I feel that we all just need to love each other a little bit more within this community. And I went off with a bit of a positive rant there, sorry, but it is true what I've said. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any tips yourself for people going to conventions, please let me know. I hope that I've helped or inspired you, and I look forward to doing more videos like this. Until next time, take care. Bye!